Listen to this podcast now
on the Red Apple Podcast Network. The Idea Gen Global Podcast with George Sifakis.
I'm George Sifakis. In a world overflowing with noise, there is one forum where the world's smartest voices connect, where visionaries sit at the same table as innovators, and great minds don't just talk, they act.
Download all of Red Apple Media's podcasts right now through your favorite podcast platform.
Listen, all you New Yorkers. Excuse me, taxi.
Okay, man, we're looking around.
This is the 77 WABC minicast.
I love this man. Sincerely and literally love him. The greatest president ever, Donald J. Trump. Good morning, Mr. President.
Well, you can't give me a better introduction than that. I would say that's not so bad, huh? That's great. Well, we have good news. You know, we got the last, as you know, the hostages back, and we got the last of the dead back. Sad. And those parents they wanted the body of their son back more, just like almost more than anything I've ever seen before. It's amazing. You know, we got the 20 back. We got many before that, hundreds before that. But that last 20 we said are going to be rough, and we got them back, and now we got all of the dead back. Remember, everyone said that would be impossible. We just got the last one back today, so I know you're happy about that.
I'm so happy, and I have to tell you, I speak to so many prominent Jewish figures. As you know, President Trump, Yehuda Kaplan, one of your guys, so many others around the country, and they were celebrating you all day because, let's be honest, okay? If Biden was the president, or if Harris, God forbid, she would have won, those people would still be in those tunnels getting raped, getting murdered. It would be awful. I don't know how you did it. I got to be honest, President Trump. But from all the Jewish people and Christians around the world, thank you so much.
Well, actually, Sid, I think really you wouldn't have Israel right now if that were the case, because there wouldn't have been that whole situation that we did Midnight Hammer where we knocked out the nuclear power. They would have used that if they had it. And I don't think you'd have Israel. I really don't think so. The attack wouldn't have taken place, wouldn't have been allowed to have taken place. They instead would have been attacked. Think of it. Somebody was saying it today. I never gave it that kind of thought because we like to think a little more positively. But they were saying today, you wouldn't have Israel. I don't think Israel would be around. During that 60-day negotiation, so much took place in terms of readiness and getting it done. You know, the famous 60-day negotiation.
Yes.
And so I don't think you would have had, I really don't think you would have had Israel around, if you want to know that.
I agree with you.
Very dangerous time.
I agree, and I think Bibi agrees. And, you know, just a couple of days ago, President Trump, I know you know this, but they shut the airspace in Israel. I've got all these friends. They live in Jerusalem and Tel Aviv, all over the country, you know. And they text me at 2 o'clock in the morning, we just shut the airspace. I said, what the hell's going on, you know? But, of course, Iran keeps threatening us. They keep threatening you. So Israel kind of replies in turn. But I think the Israelis, I'll speak for them, okay? I think they're very, very confident with you at the helm, that this Iran thing will eventually get fixed and go America's way, Israel's way, and quite frankly, President Trump, the world's way.
Yeah, well, we have a lot of support. We have a big armada going over there right now, and hopefully we won't have to use it, but it's very powerful and bigger than what we have in Venezuela that we sent over. That worked out so well, and the leadership there is doing a very good job coordinating with us and everything else. But we have a big armada going over there, and we'll see. Hopefully we won't have to use it.
You know, you mentioned the armada, you mentioned Iran, and I got to go to the mayor here because people in New York love you. You know, I walk past the Trump Tower every day. There's not a conversation, President Trump, I don't have with you or your daughter-in-law. She's coming on today, or your son, Eric. I don't bring up New York. I know you still love New York. And you had a meeting with the mayor in your office a couple of months ago. And you guys got along really, really well. And that was, I'll be honest, because I love you, odd for me because I spend a lot of time, I'm being honest, bad-mouthing the mayor. And I got to say this. The last couple of weeks, you know, he's so nice to you. Hochul does the same thing. She's so nice to you, then she kills you. You know, Walls today, I'm sure, was very, very nice to you, then he kills you. Mamdani was angry about the Maduro capture, as great as that was. He called your administration evil. after Good was murdered, Mr. President. He actually came out and said he wants to abolish ICE on The View and in a tweet yesterday. So I want to give the guy a chance because you are, but when people badmouth Trump, I get very upset. Sorry.
Yeah. Well, it's politics. I see it with so many. They'll be so nice to me. You don't know how nice they are. I mean, at a level that you have rarely heard, and then you'll see them 3 days later on a show or something, and they'll be knocking the hell out of you. And it's politics. And you know what? I do the same to them. I'm nice to them, and then I'm not so nice maybe when I'm talking about them as a politician. So, which I hate to call myself, but I guess ultimately I'm a politician, right? But, it's politics. It's a nasty world. It's a nasty profession, if you want to know the truth. It really is. But I got along very well with him. We had some good meetings, some good talks, and he's the way he is. I guess you're not going to change. You grow up a certain way, and you sort of tend to be the certain way, but they got to do a good job for New York. What I want to see is New York be successful. And if he could help make it successful, make it much more successful, because now it's heading in the wrong direction. Losing people, you saw where I said the New York Stock Exchange, having a major stock exchange built in Dallas is not a good thing.
Right.
Okay, that's a real bad thing.
Oh, my God.
And it's by the owners of the New York Stock Exchange. They're the ones doing it. And I would have talked to them, tried to get them to not do that if I were the mayor of New York. That's a big deal. That's not a positive thing for New York.
So is it fair to say then, I'm not going to put words in your mouth. You're the president, the greatest president ever. But the jury's still out. You say nice things, but if New York doesn't get better, if there's an issue with the Jewish people, you mentioned the stock exchange, is it fair to say the jury is still out when it comes to Trump and the mayor?
Well, it is. I mean, I think he's got a really good personality. I think he's got, tremendous assets, but he's got some things. Forget about what he says about me. I don't really care about that. It's policy. It's, concepts that really haven't worked over the last 10,000 years, to be honest with you. They haven't worked. Yeah. And maybe you can get them to work, but a lot of people think that can't happen. So got to be very careful. When people leave, when you have a stock exchange opening up in Texas, when, things like that happen, makes your job really makes your job a lot harder. I'd love to see him be successful, because if he's successful, that means that's a good thing for New York. So I would love to see him be successful. Those policies, the ones that I'm hearing about, typically haven't worked. Not typically. They've never worked anywhere,
right.
Ever.
Never.
So,
yeah, and then you get...
I don't want to see that.
The governor's race, Hochul is the same creature. She calls you and she's loves you, and then she goes on one of these channels here, and she's not very nice. But we've got our mutual friend who just won his second consecutive race, Mr. President, Nassau County, Bruce Blakeman. He's now running for governor. How great, Mr. President, would Bruce Blakeman be as the governor of our state?
Well, he's a fantastic guy, and I know him very well. I've supported him always, and he won in Nassau County, and that's like impossible for a Republican. Not only that, he just had an election. He won in a landslide. He's a great guy. He would be an amazing governor. You're right about Kathy Hochul. She is so nice to me. She calls me, "Hi, President. Hi. How you doing?" Cannot be nicer. She wants to build windmills all over the place. It's like crazy. But she cannot be nicer. And then I'll see her the following day on television knocking the hell out of me. I said, you're very disloyal when you call me and you're so nice. And then all of a sudden, it's like just a weird thing. Yeah. I know when she's calling because it says Buffalo, New York. I pick up. I say, I know exactly, Buffalo, New York. Yeah. And I love Buffalo. I love the whole state. But when she calls and she's nice, and then the following morning she'll just, rip you. It's so dishonest. People understand it, but it's dishonest. I handle it because I understand politics, and that's the way it is. It's pretty sad.
Well, you understand politics, and not to patronize you, which I do all day, every day, but you're a mensch. You are. I laugh when I hear people speak badly about you. They don't know you. You're the nicest guy in the world. There's nothing you wouldn't do for anybody. Tim Walz, for example, he calls you today. You say, I'll help you out, Minnesota. He's been killing you, killing ICE, killing America, him and that awful mayor from Minneapolis, Fry. All they do every day is kill Trump.
He called me, too.
Yeah.
I just spoke to Jacob Fry. I just spoke to him. He called me.
Oh, so you spoke to both of them?
We had a great conversation.
Yeah.
Actually, they were both great conversations. So let's hope that turns out to be so. So we'll see if we can get that. You know, what we've done is so many locations have no crime now. We send in the military. We send in the National Guard. We do what we have to do. And, I mean, look at Memphis. Crime is down 77% in 4 weeks. Look at the greatest, Washington, D.C. This place was really dangerous, and now it's the safest place you have in the country. There's no crime whatsoever. It's amazing. New Orleans, we have, I would say after 4 weeks, we have the crime down more than 60%. I'll tell you what, if I were a Democrat governor or mayor, I would be calling Trump, say, get over here, make me look good. Because, you know, people are looking at me. If you see crime go down, we brought crime down in Chicago. And, you know, we did a minor job compared to what we could do. We could have virtually no crime in Chicago, virtually no crime within a few months. We did that in D.C. After 1 month, we had very little, and now we have virtually no crime. It's crazy that they're not wanting this. But I had two very good talks. I had Jacob Fry and I had Governor Walz, and I mean they were great calls. So let's see how they report it. But they were very nice calls, very respectful.
Every week, the Payne family cuts straight to the real financial story.
The one question, Bob, everyone's asking is, are we in an artificial intelligence bubble? You've been through boom and bust. What do you think?
No hype, no myths. Just what actually matters to your money.
Does feel very similar to what we experienced in the 90s. Where are we, though? Are we in 1995, 1997, 1999?
Listen to the Pain Points of Wealth on the Red Apple Podcast Network.